Hi, guys. How are you? Okay, so we're going to talk about some interesting topics today, a little bit different than what we usually talk about. Very serious topics. We're going to talk about the R. Kelly case, and then we're going to talk about, by request, the Gabbie Petito. I don't even know if it's Gabbie Petito. It's Brian Laundrie right now. We're going to talk about. So these are some very serious cases. Let me go ahead, play my intro, allow more people into the room, and then we'll get right into it. Hi guys, how are you? Hey guys,
Hey, what's up? What's
how
up?
are you?
Oh,
So we're waiting on Gabor.
Okay.
I do I hear an echo?
hold on. Let me make sure it's not me.
Make sure it's not me.
I done turned off everything.
Okay, we're good. All right, so listen, before we get into that, I forgot to do this last time. If you haven't already subscribed to Perry's Hotline, which is, do it here he is.
Amazing.
In my house.
Amazing.
Hi Gabor.
Hey, what's good? What's good?
If you haven't already signed up for Perry's Hotline, which is a good
Am
way
I
to
late? We live?
Huh?
Oh, we live. I'm sorry. I'm late.
Yeah, we're live.
My bad.
I'm glad we told you.
Which is a good way to contact him. Go ahead and sign up. The phone number is area code, and it's free. Some people think you pay. It's free. Area code 702-553-3288. Now we're going to talk about two cases today. We're going to talk about R. Kelly first, and then we're going to talk about the Gabbie Petito case. Do you know anything about that, Gabor? The YouTuber that went missing?
Was she a YouTuber?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she had just started a YouTube thing.
Oh,
I'm not
baby.
sure how big it was or whatever.
I
yeah.
know a little bit about the case, child.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So
I
let's
don't
start
know
with
much.
this. Go ahead.
I don't know if y'all want to discuss that with me.
Oh well, no.
We want to discuss it with you, and we want you to be Gabor. We want you to say it how you mean it.
There's other people who probably know more about it because, like, people saying, "Hey, can you bring this up to let people know?" You know what I'm saying? This guy's out there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at.
That was by request. A lot of people wanted me to talk about it today because he's still missing, and it's just a mess.
That boy ain't missing. That boy somewhere across the border somewhere with a whole nother ID and shit. They let the boy get away.
You think that? Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, Gabor is too much. Oh, wow. Okay, let's talk about R. Kelly. So finally, he is guilty. He got charged. He was charged with racketeering, sexual exploitation of children, kidnapping, forced labor, and 8 counts of sex trafficking. The reason why they use racketeering means when a business or an entity is doing something wrong, fraud. They mostly use this for mobsters, racketeering. You hear about it all the time. The way that CNN explained it, the way that they used it for, the reason that they used it for R. Kelly is because it most of the time has very little chance of appeal. They wanted it to stick. And so R. Kelly's people say they are going to file an appeal, but they're going to say that they're not an entity or a business, that he's a person. But actually, R. Kelly is a business. And not only that, they plan on going after what they called enablers. They're getting the people that turned a blind eye. They're not playing. And look how long. I remember being 23 years old. I'm 51. I remember being 23 years old. Was it with the Leah stuff? Like R. Kelly and then the peeing tape. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was so long ago. R. Kelly has gotten away with this for decades. He's sick. He has a problem. Now I had talked to Canelo and Perry and Gabor about this earlier. We all know that R. Kelly was allegedly sexually abused by his sister at a very young age. He talked about it in that interview with Gayle King when he said, I'm just so sick of everybody messing with me. Remember that video? And he almost cried.
Yes.
But he wouldn't say who
that.
it was. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the brother went on Tasha K's show, but he started talking about it. What was it? Carrie Kelly. Something like this. Don't quote me here, but
they talked about it on Surviving R. Kelly. They was interviewing some of his family members.
Oh, they did?
Because I saw part 1 and part 2, but they didn't say it was the sister. But we did see an interview with his brother Carrie, and he kind of basically said that it was the sister.
Because I remember
she abused both of them.
She did at a very early age. And when he was in that interview with Gayle, he said that he was assaulted at a very early age. It made him very sexually active at an age where that's what kids aren't thinking about, and stuff like that. Do we feel sorry for R. Kelly?
I feel sorry for him on that front, being, assaulted.
Yeah.
But as he got older, he knew better to be there with 14 and 13-year-old girls. He knew what he was doing, and he knew that was wrong. He should have, been gone a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, after the whole Aaliyah scandal, the sex tape, he should have been in jail long then.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and for me, Sharrell, like, I do get the part, like, I feel bad what happened to him, because that do change the course of somebody's life, right? Mm-hmm. But not with the sexual stuff, but say if you just had a no good father, right? Mm-hmm. As a son, as you go through your life and stuff, you still went through that pain with a sorry father, mm-hmm. but you got a choice as an adult. Mm-hmm. As you go into it, you can repeat the pattern,
mm-hmm. or you can break it.
Or you can change the pattern. Mm-hmm. That's all I would say. Like, at that point, I get it. I mean, because if you was somebody that was done this way, you know how it made you feel. Mm-hmm. To come back and do it to somebody else, it's not right.
Gabor, did you ever see the peeing video?
Oh, yes.
Something is seriously wrong with that boy. What wasn't it?
The video was like 45 minutes.
It was long.
It was like, well, the version that I got, I remember when it first came out, I was like 13 years old. Mm-hmm. And we had a bootleg copy of it. Yes. And we had a bootleg copy of it, but it was like 3 scenes. But I later found out which scene was the one with the girl, with the young. And
he should have been arrested back then.
That's what
he should have been arrested back then, but see, he had paid off. What we learned in Surviving R. Kelly Part 1 was that he had paid off the girl people.
Sure did.
Because that was Sparkle's
Wait a minute.
niece.
He paid off Sparkle's family?
Yep.
Yeah, you remember Sparkle?
Yeah, I remember Sparkle.
Yeah, that was her niece. That was her sister.
Wait, what? Wait a minute here.
Yes,
what?
That was.
Wait, what mother is going to allow you take money from somebody that violated her daughter?
Sparkle said that she would come to the studio and a girl would be there.
Mm-hmm.
That she would come to the studio and the girl would be there and she'll be like, "Who dropped her?"
I'm saying.
Oh no, Sharrell, that's not even the bad part. He paid off the father. The father was in his band. That's the reason
why he didn't get in trouble. That's why he didn't get in trouble, because the girl
in the band.
The girl saying,
yes.
Oh yes.
You can't just lay this on me, Gabor.
No, I'm serious. The girl
the man took money from somebody that violated his daughter.
Sure did.
And he needs to be in jail too.
And then they went to
the girl was young, and the reason why he didn't get in trouble that time is because the girl was saying it wasn't her on the video, and they had her basketball coach, her teammates and stuff saying that it was her, and she was saying that ain't me. How y'all gonna tell me who that's me and it ain't me?
Oh my God!
Right.
I can't breathe.
And then
right
Sharrell,
now.
you got to figure this, like, you know, a lot of these parents,
breathe.
like struggling families moving up, trying to get there, and they
I
feel
don't
like the
know,
daughter.
Vegas girl, where I've been. Go ahead, Perry.
I'm just saying, they feel
Hey,
like their
Vegas
daughter-
girl.
Hey, Vegas girl.
I
They
don't know
couldn't-
where I've been, but I wasn't watching the R. Kelly case because
They
that
actually coming from like a
Yes, it was
struggling
Sparkle
place, right?
niece. It was Sparkle
Like
niece.
you know,
Yeah.
they couldn't financially they're not doing that well, so you got a chance for your daughter to maybe hook up with this
Perry,
famous.
I don't care.
No. To go with this famous guy to maybe one day make family money, right?
Perry,
Oh,
Maybe I would have drug.
Perry is
If
correct.
my
Perry's
niece,
onto it.
if my underage niece was in the studio, I would have drug her all around the
yeah,
studio.
you
As far
can't
as
make
they
that
wanted
make
to
sense,
do
Perry.
No
You can't make it make sense.
But
No, I'm not trying to make it sense. I'm just saying from the standpoint when you saying, well, how could they take the money? Some of them do it hoping their daughter could go and make this money so it can make their lifestyle better. And when something happened, some of them really, I know you ain't gonna agree with it. But some of them might be like, well, hell, it was gonna happen any day. So, well, it wasn't that bad, but at least I can get this money.
that's what they was thinking, and then not only that, they also the father was still in the band up until R. Kelly went to jail.
I cannot.
So
I cannot.
yes,
I cannot.
I reviewed the whole entire Survivor R. Kelly. I watched the whole thing, reviewed it, and I was sick to my stomach.
I'm disgusted.
And one of the girls, I mean, I don't know why it's so hard to believe because it would happen. And I don't want to bring Aaliyah into it because she ain't here to defend herself. But one of the girls said that R. Kelly told her that he had Aaliyah's mama too.
Oh,
He had the mama and the daughter.
Hold on.
Well,
now I didn't hear that, but I wouldn't put it
yes, I'm
past him.
serious.
You have
I
got
wouldn't
to
put it past
stop.
him.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Put them
You
one
wanna
in the
say
chat
something.
if you heard that R. Kelly had Aaliyah's mama too. Put them one in the chat if you heard he had
and I'll say
Aaliyah's
this.
mama.
If you can be a stripper, then you can be a pimp too. So, and maybe that's possible. I'm telling you, Sharrell, not everybody parent the way you do.
No.
everybody.
It's not even about being a good parent. That's just common sense.
Look at the one, Sharrell.
No.
Look at the one.
I mean,
He
obviously,
had-
you agree with what we said.
He had the mama too.
What was
I
it?
mean,
One
hell-
more? A one is if they heard it.
If they heard that R. Kelly had Aaliyah and her
Oh
mama.
my God, I'm about to faint. Oh my
we
God.
I'm not even gonna lie. I
Oh
didn't
my
hear it, but I wouldn't have put it
God.
past him because R. Kelly was just as nasty. I'm not even gonna lie. Everything that was on that documentary, Survivor
Oh my
R. Kelly,
God.
I could not even. I mean, because he had I forget what the girl name was. Was it Crystal? I forget what her name.
It was so many.
It was so many, but the one that actually slept with R. Kelly and Sparkle's niece.
Oh my God.
He had
I
threesomes
cannot
with them
breathe.
and had them to do sexual acts on each other.
Okay, stop.
Yeah.
We said with you. That's enough. This
I'm
is
dead
enough.
serious.
Well, I mean, that's what happens like that, Sharrell. I mean, we just saying,
Yes.
you know,
Unfortunately, when you got money, you could pay for a lot of stuff. You can pay for stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the people need to be locked up. You know what I'm saying?
And I said when I first
can't
watched
breathe.
it, I watched it, I said
Because
they
this
need
is
to get-
disgusting. Sorry,
It
go ahead,
is.
Kilo.
I was just saying what I wanted to say was I wanted everybody, all the enablers, to be locked up just as well as him.
As
Because
well.
they had everything, they hid everything. If you go back and watch it, his manager was the one that got him and Aaliyah a marriage certificate. They actually sat up there and got them married behind the parents' back, even though the parents kind of pushed her on R. Kelly.
Her name was Lisa Van Allen.
Force the
Cynthia
name.
wrote,
Mhm.
Cynthia wrote it in the chat. Lisa Van Allen. She was.
That's who it was. That's the one that R. Kelly met. And she was sick to her stomach when she found out how old the girl was.
Yes, because she didn't know that the girl was
She
underage.
did not even know. And
The
she
girl was
like,
lying to her. The girl was lying
Yep.
to her.
Let me read this. It says the
Because-
uncle is the one that told the story about the mom on Dr.
Wow.
Oz.
Because I remember
Nice.
Lisa Van Allen was saying that she was underage too. She was like 17.
Yeah.
And she had told her mama, look, I'm about to go to R. Kelly. Ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do. I'm about to go with this man, you know?
Mhm.
Yep.
And she was like, ain't was really nothing her mama can do.
And I mean, he had these women, I mean, hypnotized. And then the stories that you hear, And it's just like, how can a person really be this nasty and disgusting?
Money allowed him, right, Canelo, to
But
get away.
Right.
That's true, but you know what? He wasn't. Come to find out, he wasn't even paying them. He
Well,
wasn't
no,
even giving.
but
He was
no. He wasn't paying them, but it's the prospect of making money. Okay,
right.
like we fresh out Britney Spears situation.
Right.
Her father shouldn't get the damn things he did.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's all about my career wasn't going nowhere, but my child's career could do this. It's possibilities.
Listen,
And I know nobody really, you know, a good parent don't really sell their kid out, but not every parent is a good parent.
Nope.
my daddy would have, my daughter would have been no single. My daughter would have been no single. Not
Yep.
that way.
No, right now I got you.
And see the other thing was they went to concerts. There was a couple of girls that went to concerts. He specifically wanted them to come to his dressing room. One girl, he actually told her, "You will not be going home with your mother. You're going home with me." Took her off, and the parents hadn't seen her for like was it like 3 to 4
Is that
years?
the something Azriel Cleary?
I don't know if it's Azriel, but
Azriel Cleary was the one that was living. No, Azriel Cleary is the girl who was living with him when he was. She was with Joycelyn Savage when they was living in the Trump Tower.
yeah.
Okay,
She was the
so
one that Gail interviewed.
whatever happened to Savage? What's her name? What is it?
Joycelyn Savage.
Yeah, what happened to her?
I don't
Because she
know,
was
child.
with
I
him
don't
all
know.
the way up.
She went home. She went home.
had
She
a
went back
fight.
with her parents.
You remember she had
After
that
that
fight with
fight.
Ariel. Her and
Yeah,
Ariel
but
had a
she-
fight.
But that Jocelyn, she went back home with her parents, her mother and her stepfather. She finally went back home with them. That's why you're not hearing anything about her too much.
She was so brainwashed. But this is what I
Yeah.
don't get. And okay, y'all call me naive, and I am. I'm going to cop to it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a cop to it. I'm naive. But when you get me in the house, okay, and I see everything that's going on, you're not going to keep me there. What
They
part?
were so hypnotized by him.
Sparkle said that Andrea Kelly used to have to knock on the door and ask him for food.
She sure did.
Yeah, see, you're not going to do that to me. Like,
But his R. Kelly's personal assistant came on Good Morning. Was it Good Morning America? Was she on the interview? She was on one of those morning shows. Or it might have been a night show. And she talked about, she had been his personal assistant for 16 years. She said, none of these, now I know she was lying. She said, but none of these girls, she said they was all over 18. None of them was held against their will. That she never took any women to his house, to one of his houses, because he had 3, evidently, women standing each 3. But she said they was able to leave on their own. And I'm like, but how is 20 women saying that they wasn't able to leave on their own? That they was like, I mean, it just didn't add up. But she vouched for him.
I don't believe all. I don't believe all. It was one of the girls who had quit her job. She worked at a radio station. She quit her job thinking she was about to be with R. Kelly and was at the house living with him. Girl, you thought you had a come up. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't believe every story, but some of them girls I believe.
I'm going to read this from Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stephanie says, it's not about sympathy for Mr. Kelly. This case may serve as a model for future prosecutions of these offenses under RICO. That's that racketeering that I was talking about. I'm apprehensive that the prosecutions, I don't know if I'm saying that right, will be too broad, like war on drugs, conspiracy cases. I mean, Stephanie has a point. This, what does she call it? RICO. They're usually used for mobsters. But they said on CNN they wanted to make sure he had little possibility for a appeal to be successful.
I mean, if all the women come out and say something, they would have probable cause to keep him behind bars. But most of them are still too scared to come out and talk, to tell the story.
Too. What is it about mind control? Is it fear? That
from what we seen on from what they were saying that he did to them, he was promising them the world. They was going to be able to sing, They were going to be able to have contracts.
Yeah, but Canelo, after I see that that's not happening,
Exactly.
and you got me locked up in a room,
it's the
knocking on the
lifestyle.
door.
Yeah,
They
it's
get
the
there.
lifestyle.
It's the
Exactly,
lifestyle.
Sharrell. You're 100% correct. You know, at a certain point, you know this ain't happening. You know what I'm saying?
But they
keep on
still
thinking
stay, and that's what we don't understand.
It's the lifestyle. They was getting Gucci boots. They was getting all the stuff
But Nina,
that they never
I'm
had.
knocking on the door. I'm going to the bathroom in a bowl when I can't be
For real, no.
These are
You know what, though?
18-year-old girls. They're too
Go
young.
ahead, Nina.
Okay.
I was saying these girls are so young. You know, you get them from the inner. He was meeting these girls at McDonald's, at basketball games, at high school basketball games. He ain't never heard these girls sing a day in their life. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying, I want this one, I want that one, bring her here, bring her there. But he was filling them up with all this stuff. When you're 13 and 14 and 15 and you come from the projects, and R. Kelly,
oh yeah,
you know, R. Kelly, I've seen him in concert 2-3 times.
I get it now.
In concert, but you give it. He putting money in their pocket. They're in the finest hotels. It's not about them getting on stage. It's about I'm seeing with R. Kelly. I got the gold on. I got the purse. I got the things that my friends don't have. Hair hanging down my head. You know. That's what that was. And their parents should be charged for even allowing this to happen. If my daughter had been missing for five minutes,
I'm going to get mine.
I'm going to get mine.
there you go.
Like, where the heck she at? Why she ain't on the school bus? Where y'all at? These people knew that their children at 13 and 14, that your daughters was with this man because this man then paid y'all to have these kids here. Now, why would you have your children on a bus on tour with him, but you ain't there? Make that make sense.
Them girls couldn't even look men in the eye. They say they couldn't even look at people in the eye.
What about this, Nina? Do you think the uncle knew what was going on between him and
the uncle knew, the brother knew, the brother even told his side of the story first. Not I ain't gonna say first person, but he was still in prison. One of the brothers was still in prison.
Are you talking about Rashad Aaliyah's brother, or are you talking about R. Kelly's Carrie brother?
R. Kelly brother.
R. Kelly's
if we
brother.
knew back
R. Kelly's
then,
brother. He was in.
If we knew back then, of course they knew.
But what about the uncle, Aaliyah's uncle?
Her mama knew.
Yes,
her mama knew.
Yeah, they knew.
The uncle knew.
They knew. The uncle trying to profit
off
of right now.
Shit, not my 13, 14-year-old.
And then what was so bad, they knew about it. They let him marry her, and they knew about the marriage, but they want to tell us they didn't know about it. Yes, they got pregnant.
Yeah,
and once again, and tell us they didn't know about it, but now they want to try to shut it down since he's behind bars. They don't want nobody to talk about it.
And
but
then you know the bad thing about this is you got all these stars like and please know I love her, the Brat, Ricky Smiley. Quit talking about Aaliyah. Quit bringing up her name. But how can you not help but bring up Aaliyah when she was the forefront of all of this even happening? Of course, she's deceased and she can't say nothing, but her name is still attached to this. You know, because that's how it all started. And R. Kelly, sometimes when you be violated like that at a young age, and I'm not taking up for him now, please no, I'm not. Sometimes they become the perpetrators. They start doing these things to other people, you know. And he didn't have nobody telling him no. He didn't have, they like the Wendy Williams show. They still want their job. That's why they wasn't there for her, right? They wanted a job. They wanted a paycheck. That's how these people with R. Kelly is. They wanted money. And for somebody to say one more damn time that man couldn't read or write is a lie. They
know that man could read and write.
That man could read and write. He got over 5,000 songs that he done wrote himself.
Thank you. I was saying, how the hell you can't read or write, but you can write a damn song.
You cannot be on the radio without listening to one of R. Kelly's songs that he wrote. You just don't know that it's R. Kelly's song that he wrote. I done been to 3 or 4 of his concerts, y'all. When I say the Negro bad, he bad. Yeah. I say, don't take them little girls, take me.
No, I get it though. But, I mean, but this is what I was going to say though. I mean, this is what I was
You
going
ain't
to say though.
pissing on me. You ain't pissing on me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but
Golden shower. No, you're not gonna do that, huh? That's what they call a golden shower. You're not getting ready to do that to me now.
But
No. That's,
But see, I'm gonna say this. After watching the Surviving R. Kelly, the music now, come to find out, half of those songs he was writing about some of those girls that he was keeping hostage. And every time I listen to it, I can't even listen to it the same no more. It's like it was one song. I don't know if it was Aaliyah or it was JoJo. It was one of the girls he made Bumping and Grinding about.
that's on my mind, Canelo. That's the song. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love Bump and Grind. I feel guilty now.
Yeah, no. I mean, his music was great, but like I said, Sharrell, I think that the basis of it is this: like parents had some control over it. A lot of them, I can't say all of them. You know what I'm saying? But had a weakness to try to just push their kid to make finances for the family, right? I think that was a problem. And then, like, I think age was an issue. But then, even with Jim Jones, not all the people who followed him was not kids.
You talk about the cult leader?
People
brainwash made everybody
you.
drink the Kool-Aid.
He wrote.
Yes, people brainwash you into thinking certain ways, right? And you can say, well, no, we can't blame him. No, he the one did it. Okay. But like with the start, like say with Aaliyah, right? These other girls saying, hey, she's with him and she became a star. Well, it might not be when you go back and say, well, one thing, I've been here 4 months, nothing happened yet. Well, I'm next on the list.
Aaliyah only became a star.
I'm not sure how they think.
Aaliyah only became a star because Barry was her uncle. The man was her uncle.
Right. You might know that, right? But the other girls looking at, hey, this person was with him. He can turn them into this, right?
And that's what majority almost.
And I think most of it went there for that. And they thinking, well, I don't really like that. I mean, most people don't go and like working at a shitty job they don't like 9 to 5. But they do it thinking one day things will get better. That's what I'm
saying. The problem with him being at the local high schools in the first place. My best girlfriend lives in Chicago. R. Kelly was always on some basketball game, high school basketball game, the McDonald's. You know, he was always around where young children are. So that's an issue right there in itself. And if I know that R. Kelly is around my daughter and she's number 12 years old, she might look like she's 14 because she did. You know what I'm saying? This kids look older than they are. But if I know R. Kelly's sitting there and he trying to get my young girl, I nip that in the bud. I don't know what was wrong with them people said in Chicago. I don't know.
Michelle says, Perry is right. I'm sorry. They all knew, but they took hush money for financial reasons. They need to be some kind of consequences for people pimping out their daughters.
It ain't enough money. It ain't enough money. Okay.
It's not enough
but
money.
His team should go down to, and his wife, Andrea, okay, here you come out saying all this stuff now, but where was you at?
I'm gonna say this, Nina. I don't hold Andrea as no hero because she knew what was going on too. When she divorced R. Kelly.
Just stop, because y'all. I didn't follow this case like that. You think Drea? Knew?
She knew.
Okay, so look at Andrea. Look at Drea. Look at her. She's a beautiful dancer.
And don't forget,
but she ain't no pretty girl.
Right.
She ain't no pretty girl. Not at all. And she did it to be quiet because he wanted to have children. So that's the main survivor R. Kelly. He wanted children by her. He married her. You know what they got married in? Sweatsuits. Yep. That's how much he loved her. That's how much he loved Andrea. This rich man, a billionaire, you gonna marry me on a fleet day and we gonna be in sweatsuits coming out the tour? Really? That's how much he loved me.
It was boys too. They said it was boys too. It was.
I don't believe that. Y'all remember the whole thing about Ezra? He had her to cut her hair off, and he made her look like a boy so he can have relations with her because it was already said that he liked guys too.
I don't think that was Ezreal. It was another girl.
It was I don't know what. I know you're right. It's not Ezreal. I can't remember the girl's name. I cannot remember.
But do you remember
that girl back at home? That girl back at home.
Yeah, that's the one that went home, huh?
Remember his daughter when she came out as by as a gay woman, as a lesbian? He disowned her. He disowned her. He was like, I never have nothing else to do with you. So she started spilling the tea too. What she knew as a young girl, seeing all these women.
She sure did.
Okay, hold on. First of all,
that girl name was Dominique.
Your face for a second before I bring you up.
That girl name was Dominique Camillo.
Oh, Dominique. Okay. Yeah.
So
wait
a minute.
Rhonda Anderson and Cynthia Brody.
To me, Nina, because his daughter was.
I heard that the daughter is a trans boy. She's a trans
she is a trans boy. She was a girl. She was a girl. She had a breast removed, everything, and he was saying, you doing that to despite me and stuff. But she was living her truth, because I think she was like 19 when she finally came out and said that, told him.
Okay, hold on, just sorry. First of all, backstage, I need to see your face before I bring you up. He was bisexual. Oh, this is why ain't nobody tell me all this? He was bisexual. He had a daughter that was trans, and
her name is
How many songs, Sharrell? How many songs did he write in the closet?
Oh my God, that man wrote so many, but that's not even a kicker.
He did write a song called "In the Closet."
His children came out and they spilled everything.
All right, I'm going to bring you up now. You could go back to Avatar.
Now the trans boy, I don't know his name. John. Ja. Okay. Ja and the rest of his siblings had came out and they talked about how low down and dirty he was. He didn't even pay child support for them. He didn't, he didn't come and see them as much as as much as he wanted the children. He didn't come see them. He spent time here in Atlanta, up in that house with the woman that was on the on that radio station who quit her job just to be
Andrew Mack.
And he went to California. He was in Chicago. All these places. His children say he never spent time with them.
Andrew Mack doesn't believe the story. How do we?
Oh no, it is very true. It's in the documentary. That is.
I mean, for me, I'm not sure if he is. I
don't believe the bi story.
I just know he was freaky as hell. He was freaky as hell.
One of the girls said that he was giving another man fellatio in front of her.
That's what I'm saying. It's they talked about this in the documentary. So if this is their account, they was seeing it. So it's fact. Because it's out there. He ain't saying it, but he's denying it. But it was in the documentary. I even heard it.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Hey, Ronnie.
Good.
Sound off. What did you want to say? This is too much for me.
Well, basically, this judgment that has been handed down has been long overdue. Can you guys hear me?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This judgment's been long overdue. I didn't really hear anything new. It's just now it's on the books and it's in writing. There are raised embossed seals applied to it, and now we're going to find out how many years he's going to rot in the pen where he belongs. I was never enamored with R. Kelly. I was raised by a mother that taught me that it's a little tacky to listen to all that sex heavy music. I was a young girl when he was at his prime. What was a young girl like me doing, listening to some grown man talking about "Do Me, Baby," and all of his music was very sex charged. I was not raised to embrace stuff like that. So he was already a turn off to me. But then when I found out that he was predacious, that was just it. And unfortunately, I hear a lot of people talking about how they saw him at the McDonald's, saw him at the basketball game. There y'all did. So I think I find it really funny how now the narrative has switched to all these people coming out now talking about how, oh yeah, you remember when he used to do this? Remember how he used to do that? Where's all the free R. Kelly? Where's the free R. Kelly crowd? Because I think that some of those people are the same people. They were really quick to put up the free R. Kelly and put themselves on the front lines and marching. And they were out there outside the courthouse every day. They're real quiet right now. So I think now that it's easy to demonize him, it's easy to attach that guilt to him because a judge and a jury found him guilty. Now the narrative is going to switch, and all of these free R. Kelly people are going to get real quiet, and that's real disingenuous. So I'm like, so you were ready to believe free R. Kelly before. You heard all these stories for so many years. You saw the videotape footage of what he did to a 14-year-old girl. That wasn't enough for you to believe that this man had problems. And now it took a jury for you to have your mind changed.
Well, you know, when they was charging him, when he did that first video where he peed on that girl, you know, they was saying that it was his brother, right? They was trying to put it on his brother, and that's, you know, that, and then they did all these things with his body about his tattoos, and they was saying that even though he had some of these tattoos, all of them wasn't him. How they do that? They body surfed him or something that they did, and they were saying it was his. I didn't see the. I still ain't seen the video. I want to see the video.
You do not want to see that video.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I
know.
You don't. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. But I knew it was him anyway, just by his body physique. You know, R. Kelly is a different kind of person. You know, he just built different.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, all of you guys. This is a terrible question.
What's good?
It's in my head. You don't think he's going to try to take his own life if he gets a life sentence?
Girl, he about to be in heaven.
No.
In prison. He about to be in heaven in prison.
Because he gonna write so much music and he gonna sell it while he's in there. He's gonna be worth way more money in prison than he is now because his ass broke now. But
see, Nina, you went right to the music. I was thinking that he'd be laying down getting pissed on somewhere.
That's what I said. He gonna be in heaven.
That's what I meant. A target, like you mess with children, and they don't like that in prison.
And that's true. That is so true.
No, they don't like that. But you got to understand.
But the difference is though. But the difference is though. It's not. I'm not trying to be funny. It's not. Try to get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is the difference is R. Kelly didn't really rape nobody, right? He was just messing with underage girls, and that happens all the time.
I got you.
That happens to girls that's under 18 all the time.
R. Kelly will not be into popular, population. He won't be in the regular population. He'll be, they'll have him secluded for a while, for a long time. He probably won't ever be out into regular population like the normal criminal is because he's a star.
Gabor Love, to offer you some context. If you are engaging with sexual acts with somebody who is underage, you are by default R-ing that person because they cannot consent. So if he was engaging in sexual acts with young girls, by default, he was R-ing them because.
But what I'm saying is it's not nothing new. That happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? And nobody ever says anything about it. I knew girls that I was in high school that was messing with grown men.
And you know what, you're right, Gabor. And I'm wondering when is it time for us to start having this conversation of how long we allowed this man to infest our community, unscathed, unchecked. Either because he was a celebrity or because he looked like us or because he was a male. I don't care what the reason is. I want to know why this man was given just deference after deference and complete absolution to run wild in the community.
It's because of his status.
The only one. But he wasn't the only one.
The only one.
Weinstein. Look at Bill Cosby. Look, he wasn't the only one of color that has done that. He's not ever been on. And these people got Henry Weinstein got away with it. Henry Weinstein got away with it for years.
For years.
Harvey. For years. He even produced the Tamron Hall show.
All of them go down at the same time because I am sick and tired of these types of people running ragged, and then the victims turn around and not get believed.
Let me tell you something. You better get your uncle because they've been doing it forever and a day too. I ain't saying yours in particular, but people's uncles have been raping them for a long time and never been caught because the black community wanted to hush about it. So it ain't just him. It's just that he's a celebrity. but it's been people raping people all.
Oh.
That's an understatement. You know,
Yeah.
uncles
Yeah,
having you
so-
sat on their laps and you 2 and they 45.
But
What they
I,
doing to you?
I think she's trying to say also too is it went on so long because of their status. Harvey Weinstein, he was a powerful man too. They a lot of them make their money. What am I trying to say? The money helps them get away with stuff longer.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's
But they never
And-
did get the Playboy man, did they?
Hugh Hefner?
Yeah,
You had them girls was 14 and 15 years old being
You're
butt.
right.
but you had that. I mean,
He-
you go back to Elvis. Elvis had young. I mean, I
Oh my
get it.
God, he did. Priscilla was very young.
But I'm
I
saying
didn't
Elvis
know
had a lot
he
of-
was that young.
You have
I get it.
pervert.
Yeah, he was.
No,
I mean, I never knew they was that young. I always thought they was like 19 or 20 when they
No,
became
they was
Playboy
14
bunnies.
and
I never
15.
knew.
Mhm.
All right.
They was young.
I'm gonna change the subject. Did you have anything else, you guys, on R. Kelly?
The only thing
No.
I wanted to. He said no.
No,
one more
I'm just
question.
I
Do you think
was
there-
just in love with him for a long time. Shit, I would have took the place of them 10 little young girls, and he could have just had me and did whatever he
you had a
wanted.
crush on R. Kelly before you knew he was a real
yes,
freak?
I went to see R. Kelly 4 times.
Okay, so when did
Four.
you jump off the R. Kelly train? Aaliyah?
When the video, when I heard about the
Yeah.
video, actually. You know, when I heard about that video, I still went to see him one time after that. But I ain't gonna tell no lie. When he came to Charlotte, North Carolina, the boy bad in concert, y'all. He bad. I mean,
do you remember this? I tried to jump off. I'm guilty. I should be in jail too. But do you remember the song? It's the remix ignition.
Hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing, sipping on choking rum. I'm like, so what? I'm done. It's the freaky
Sound like
weekend,
the
baby.
boy
I'm
like
about
it
to
too.
have me
to have me some fun.
Ignition?
But what about the 12 plays? Do y'all know what the 12
Oh.
plays? You remember that, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that. Honey
Well,
Love
let
and
Let me see if you're a
Hold
real
on.
fan. Let me see if you're a real friend, Nina.
We're not a fan. We're not.
Well,
So stop.
if you really used to listen to him, you know this song. Girl, I'll be right there when you need me.
I know the song I just can't
All
talk
you
about.
have to do is just call me.
Okay, good morning.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say, all you gotta do is just please me.
Copyright.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'll sing in a minute.
But really, he made good music, but I'm not down with that. And I really,
No.
I couldn't help but liking that one song to mix it up in the kitchen.
Yeah,
But besides that, this man is disgusting and he's sick. And even though he's a victim himself,
you can't
I
condone it.
can't. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
feel
you know
sorry.
what though?
No,
I mean, 'cause I'm sure, and I'm not positive. I'm sure Jeffrey Dahmer could have had some issues back in his past too. But
Oh, he
certain
did.
things
Oh,
you
yeah.
can excuse.
He did.
Yeah.
There's a documentary out on him
Dahmer was
too.
a
He
big
had a
R.
lot
R.
of
Kelly
problems.
could have got all the help he wanted, but the thing about it is when you got everybody saying yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir,
You ain't
and
gonna
now,
get it.
sir, what are you doing? Don't have her in here. I'm quitting. I'm gonna tell.
Right.
When you have people just being your yes person, you're never gonna
Right,
get
right.
wealthy and well.
Well,
You know,
one more question. Do we know? Did Carrie do anything to anybody?
No, I think he was in
no,
some
he was
other
in
kind of
prison.
charges.
He was in prison for a long time for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He
No,
was
but
on crack real bad.
Perry always tried to plead for his innocence, and he distanced himself from his brother, and he didn't have a problem his brother under the bus to save himself. Because he's like, yo, I cannot have these charges attached to me. And so his story has never changed. Now that one brother that's in the pen right now, that thing is sick. That one, because he was sympathizing with R. Kelly messing with young girls. When I saw Surviving R. Kelly and I saw
Wait. What do you mean
like,
sympathizing?
young girls, you know.
He was taking up for R. Kelly.
Because he said he was abused.
Young girls. If you go back and watch Surviving R. Kelly and they talk to his brother in the pen, his brother was rationalizing with R. Kelly's desire for young girls.
Sure
like
did.
it's normal.
It's really twisted. I got it. So I only got a few minutes left, but I'm gonna do the other story tomorrow because I want to talk about this. It's really twisted. R. Kelly has said that he has forgiven his accuser, his sister. So
R. Kelly was accused by more than just his sister, though. Y'all, he was accused by more than just his sister. His sister might have been the first person because she was in the home with him, but it was a babysitter at the time that had did fellatio on him, and he didn't know what it was.
God,
He was
this
like
is some
10,
twisted
12.
mess.
Yeah.
You got to look at everything because it just wasn't his sister. It was other people.
Mm.
I don't believe in leaving my. I don't listen. I don't believe in leaving my kids with people. Listen,
was the one that turned him out.
Who turned him out?
So, so I guess if he had to forgive her, what's up?
What did you say? Who turned him out?
His sister. According to the documentary, it was his sister who he was left in the care of because his mom worked all. She's the one that turned him out.
I'm not forgiving my brother, my sister. None of them help
her.
I mean,
no, if you do something
right.
to me.
And maybe it was easy for him to forgive her because he was doing the same thing. So
I gotta agree with Ronnie on that one.
For a necessary conversation to be had in Blackistan, because where is the line? How many more R. Kellys are we going to sit by and allow?
Ooh,
it's up to y'all.
Right.
There are other R&B performers who make good music who are not perverts. We have to be more discerning about who we give our money to, who we give our attention to, and who we give access to our children.
Let me ask you something, Ronnie.
You have our natural apprehension. We go to people who don't look like us. We already know to be protective around people who don't look like us. What about the people who do? It is time that we stop using this whole entire protect everyone from the evil man. When you victimize a young child, you forfeit that protection, and you deserve to go in the lion's mouth. And I know that this country has had a very complicated history, and particularly our people with law enforcement. And that's the reason why a lot of these uncles and grandpas get away with it, because we're trying to protect them from who? The white man. But you know what?
Well, listen, you got to look at, we had a president. We had a whole president, number 45, that violated women. And he still ran the country. So, I mean, if the highest of the high don't get, he got into office. I mean, no, I'm just saying. I didn't either. But I'm saying if the highest of the high got into office, even he was in there even after several people violated them. So I
think you're saying, Nina, is that it's very prevalent in our society, and it's people you least expect, and it's all around us. And I think Ronnie's saying we have to do something to protect our children.
It starts in the home. You talk to your children. When they able to say they feeling something down there, like my 11-year-old granddaughter, she's 11 years old. She done started a menstrual cycle. I ain't telling you too much information. So her body going through changes. So guess what we do? Bam. This is what you don't do. This is how you don't let them feel on you. I don't care if it's your uncle, your brother. You don't let them touch you. You don't do.
It might be more than that, Nina. Right. Because if your parents are willing to take hush money.
Yeah,
right. But I mean, you know what the bottom line is? I think this, right? What Ronnie's saying too at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We know it's happening in the projects and it's happening in the mansions. Okay. So the money scale is there. She's saying this. At a certain point, we get to start holding everybody accountable without overlooking it off their popularity.
And you also have to be popular. Open enough that your children feel comfortable enough to come and tell you.
They just look like it. They don't have any money. All they have is either blood relation or proximity in your neighborhood. That's it. These guys ain't shit. And they're able to run ragged from house to house.
Well, honey, you better start
Dozens
talking
of
to the
girls.
local doctors. Tell you to open up your legs wide with their little freaky tails too.
The doctors too. You got to watch out for them
Yep.
too, because
They
there's been a
something
lot
too.
of. There's been a lot of women have come out and said they have gone under,
Yeah.
and they come up and they something ain't right down there, and they
That's
found
why-
out. Go ahead, Miss Nina.
Go ahead. I mean, so that's why nurses are starting to, having to come into the examination room with you, with a woman or a child when they're in there with their male doctor or female doctor. You got the nurses; they have to be there now. It used to didn't have to be that way.
But you know what? We're not done with this
Yeah.
process. So he got found guilty today. He was not
Thank
sentenced.
God.
Also, he's still facing more federal and state charges. Do you guys think that they're going to throw the book at him?
They need
God,
to. They should
yeah.
have been
They're
thrown
gonna give
long
him
years ago.
132 years plus 25,000 more.
But look
Yeah.
at this. Bill Cosby, I don't know how he got out.
Technicality.
Yeah, it was a
So,
technicality.
he still has attorneys. He's saying that he is not a entity or a business. And so it's a step in the right direction, but it's not a victory quite yet for me.
He still he
Anything
has
can go wrong.
he has his own record production company, so he is an entity. He is a business.
I think so.
So yeah,
He ain't going on tour though. I bet you he wasn't going out there trying to tell no jokes no more. He hurry up and casted that man. You gonna be the joke. That's what you're gonna be, the butt of jokes. I hate that happened with Bill Cosby. Now you was supposed to be the Huxtable, man. You was,
But see,
that
what
was
was
a
so
shame.
funny? He told the truth that he did do it, and still got off on the technicality.
Yeah, and that's when I canceled him, when that deposition was released and he admitted out of his own mouth he was just like, I like them when they're unconscious.
Yes, he sure did. That came right out of his mouth.
I can't.
And he said
I
he
can't
popped
with being
balloons.
unconscious.
I can't.
You understand
Also,
how
they
angry
said
I
that the defense portrayed the women as opportunists. So,
the only one that I said that was the opportunist was the woman that lived here in Georgia that used to work on the radio station, and she quit her job to be with him. That's the only one I said was an opportunist. I cannot remember her name to save my life.
But she was the one that was held. She was the one that he wouldn't let out the studio.
She said she go. This Nina, if you go back and watch their go back and watch it, is how she acted. It's how, because she was the only one that was of age besides Andrea. She was the only one that was of age. She was 40, so she could have left. She sat there because she was starstruck because it was R. Kelly. Then he put her in a dark room, said she couldn't go nowhere. But then she talked about, then she was like, she didn't want no other woman touching him and stuff. I think that's what she said. But it came out that she got the courage to leave. And then now all the real victims that's coming out telling their story, now she's hitching a wagon to them to come out and talk about her story. But I'm like, woman, you was 40 years old. Yes, I understand that you still could be a victim, but you were not a victim because you could have left at any particular time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In some cases, to me, at a certain point, you can't be stupid now.
Right. And she was stupid. And I'm just
gonna say, what I'm
saying? And R. Kelly, after a 40-year-old woman, please. I don't believe
she
that.
was the only one. And that's what I said. That's what I said. So
even Andrea was young when he met her. She was a young dancer. So I don't believe that.
And so that's why I say she's not a victim, because she could have left at any time, and she was hitching her story to all the real victims and trying to bring them down. Andrea was the same. She could have left at any time. She knew exactly what he was doing, so she should go to jail too. When Andrea came out and started using she never dropped his name for one, because if he had did exactly what she said he did to her in those on that documentary, I would have dropped his last name. I would not have been using it.
I wanted to clear this up.
But she's not going to do that because the name gives her access to certain things.
I wanted to clear this up. Someone just sent me some information. They said Azriel Cleary got away from him. Azriel, I'm hoping I said it right. They're saying Jocelyn Savage all the way up until August of last month, remained committed to him.
Right.
That's sad.
And,
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Jocelyn was the one that went back home to her parents. Okay, so I was wrong.
It does the name. I'm just in shock that somebody remains committed to him. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, right.
Because
I mean, what is wrong with you?
She was in
Because
love.
it's
not that much love. She had to hear about this case. She had to hear about the other victims. She had to see the documentary. It's been too much stuff written about.
Do you know how many people do you know how many girls I know that don't care?
She didn't care.
But y'all, where was she staying? Because all his properties were seized.
We don't know because the property here in Atlanta has been gone when they charged him.
And the 3 in Chicago too.
So he don't live in
Here's the Wendy. Do you think he has Stockholm syndrome? Do y'all think she has Stockholm syndrome?
But where was she living to have it? Because
she couldn't stay in the Trump Towers. Yeah, she couldn't stay in this hotel anymore. All they had to go.
Yeah. So she had to have Stockholm syndrome somewhere, but she wasn't living in any of his properties. So
where's her parents?
Come on with them.
Where is her
Look,
parents?
as real, them people was trying to on the end of surviving R. Kelly up there throwing rocks and stuff. Look, ain't no way I'm coming without my daughter, without my child. When I saw Dominique trying to get away.
Yeah, Dominique, she did.
That was on 2. That was on Surviving R. Kelly too.
Yeah.
But Jocelyn's parents, they come to find out that
Jocelyn's parents are opportunists.
They were opportunists because
wait. Jocelyn's parents are opportunists.
Yes,
all of them people are opportunists.
I can't.
Yes,
I cannot.
If they want to get their child, they didn't have to have no. They didn't have to have no lifetime cameras around if they want to get their child. I would have went up there and got my child.
They were making press conferences from out the ass. They had like 5 to 6.
They're doing these press conferences because they want to sue and get money afterwards.
What were you saying, Ronnie?
They, the Savages, did you all see the footage of them trying to launch a reality TV show? Do y'all remember that?
Stop. Okay, I'm done.
I did not hear that, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
I am done.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because creators, but there's a content creator who has the footage of the reality TV show B-roll that they were trying to film in their cars, and they had this.
I am done. Wow. I'm done.
That's why I think
I can't. I'm so mad. Someone has footage. We won't say it on this channel, but someone has footage. No, say it on this channel. Who has the footage?
Lovely T. Lovely.
She does.
I gotta go watch that. That's my girl. I love me some tea. I got to go, and she gets it.
I will send you the video on IG because I distinctly remember it. I was just watching it the other day with all this trial stuff. And that's the reason why
I gotta watch it.
I gotta go watch my girl.
Me too, Canelo.
Man. Lovely T, and like I told you, Sharrell, she always makes sure she has everything to back up everything she say before she even
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
They got a phone in her.
Shout out to Lovely T. We love you. We're huge fans over here, Lovely T.
I love my girl. I love her. I gotta go watch that.
Me too, Canelo.
I can't believe it because
you've seen the video footage of Joycelyn getting yelled at by her parents in the kitchen, right? And there was a phone in her face, and they were interrogating her about what R. Kelly did to her. That's why she doesn't want to go back, because that's why she feels stuck between a rock and a hard. It's easy for her to succumb to Stockholm syndrome, but that is in fact what she has, because she knows
she has Stockholm syndrome. Yeah,
she's going to encounter when she goes back with her parents. They're gonna put her on a press run. They're gonna be inviting press over to the house to interview her. And she's like, "Man, I just want to curl up in my bed and go to sleep." And they're like, "No, you got to do interviews. You got to tell them everything that R. Kelly did to you."
Right.
Doing nothing but chasing the bag. I think that
but where is she now, though?
I don't know where she is, but someone just sent me an article. I don't know where physically she is, but someone just sent me an article when we were online saying that she came out and says that she still stands by R. Kelly. And this was August 9th.
Oh, God.
Well, you know what, though, Sharrell? I mean, most of them, if they feel like their life ain't worth anything without latching on to someone, they're gonna feel that way. I mean, some people don't feel like they can make it on their own.
But I mean, all of this.
What happens when you get Stockholm syndrome? Is there something to deprogram you? I mean, this is crazy.
I don't know. Y'all call it Stockholm. I call it hostage.
Therapy.
Child.
Therapy.
I mean, because see, she knows what's going on with all of this.
Deprogrammed, separated from that element that you have found sympathy for.
And she's going to be separated for a long time because he's been in jail for the longest. So I don't know
that's the first.
This is sad.
That's the first.
It's always probably the belief that one day he'll get out and everything will resume.
He ain't getting out. They just Sharrell.
Well, no. I'm saying her
I know what you're saying, Perry.
The next man.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Nina. I agree.
Because he ain't getting out.
It's the next man with the most money. Yep. That's what she gonna go. It's the next one. If she don't get therapy, see, that's what's wrong with our community. We don't believe in therapy. Honey, you better go get you some and stay in there more than 2 or 3 chairs or take as long as you need, or you're gonna go right back to what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna find somebody else that can do the same thing or as good as or not as good as, just security, saying that I have him or just to be needed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I feel for. I pray for. I really
it's
will. I pray for these victims.
I know. I pray for the victims, and Jocelyn is a true victim. In her own right. I know, Gabor.
Wait, hold on, Gabor. Hold on, Gabor. Hold on, Kanila. I'm sorry, Gabor. You don't feel that these women were victims, or you're talking about Jocelyn?
No, I just feel at a certain point. Okay, I have. Look, let's go on. Let's move on.
Well, I think you're saying what I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
it's a point, and what I wanted to say was like the victims, the true victims that we already know, that comes out and tell their stories. They were getting away from it. It's the ones that just stay there, knowing good and well that they're in a hostage situation, but they were like, I don't care as long as I get the fame and I do everything he tells me. I'm gonna get a Birkin bag. I'm gonna get some Gucci shoes. I mean, those are the ones I don't really consider a victim. I consider them most as opportunists, because the victims are the ones that are going to try to get away. And there was the one that he gave an STD to. She laid up in the hospital. He did not even come see that woman. Herpes. He did not come see that woman, and he left her in that hospital and never came to see her. So she had to go back home to her parents. She wanted to leave.
Andrea admitted that she had it too. Did he give her STD? Andrea?
I'm quite sure.
Cause I've got company.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna wrap this up. Nina, what are some of your final words?
You and me.
I can't get over my husband singing, honey.
Y'all know that song? Any other night?
Wait a minute, Nina. Now Gabor is your husband? Oh no.
He's my husband in my head.
They graduated.
Oh my God,
I'm like the dumb blonde. But no, my last words is that this is what my last words are. Is that I hope they lock him up, throw away the key, whatever could possibly happen to him horribly in there needs to happen to him, because that's just Nina. What not only did he do that to them, you got to think of these other people that this could possibly be happening to. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him get away with it. Let him feel the same thing that he had them women feel. Wow. Them young girls feel.
Right.
And I feel the same exact way.
Those young girls in the fish tank, those young girls that when those other producers were leaving his studios, they saw men running a train on them.
Right.
There's all that.
Yep.
All that.
There's all that karma.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Last words?
All I can say is they need to throw the book and they ain't throwing it fast enough for me.
Gabor?
Right.
Come on, honey.
You pass.
Gabor said,
I don't got nothing to say. I'm just,
Harry?
y'all know they ain't about to throw no book at him.
You don't think
they
so?
ain't about to throw no book on.
As far as this, I don't have anything to say, but sorry we didn't get to the next story. but maybe we'll cover it tomorrow.
I will cover that tomorrow.
Whoa.
The Petty, what was her name? I'm sorry. Gabbie Petty.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I
Gabbie
am
Petito.
so look.
Petito,
Don't
I'm
get
sorry.
me on here, D and Sharrell, because I'm sick of that whole story. It's
Amen.
fishy, and that his parents know where the heck he is. His mama is the freaking dang on DA.
He in Canada.
So don't
He in
tell
Wait
me.
a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna extend this. We're gonna talk about this now. You think it's fit? Okay, so we
We might need you on here.
First of all, when Patty got pulled over with him,
I'll be right back.
When
Wait,
Petito got
hold
pulled over
on,
with him,
Gabor. Hold on. Let me remind everyone the story. Okay, so we're gonna talk about.
I'll be back though.
All right,
Okay,
Perry.
now Perry, you gotta be here, Perry.
he'll be back. Let's talk
I
really
don't wanna
quick
do it without Perry.
about the Gabbie Petito. Am I saying it right? Petito?
Yes.
Mhm.
Petito
Petito.
story.
It can be pastrami for all I care. Go ahead.
Oh no, Nina. Okay, listen. So we all have heard the story that she was a YouTuber, went on vacation with her husband. His name is Brian Laundrie. I hope
Was
I
they
said that right.
married?
No, they were
I'm-
boyfriend and girlfriend.
All right. I
Yeah.
don't think they was married now.
They went on a
They
trip
wasn't married.
to visit national parks.
Mhm.
During the trip, they got pulled over. I think they told the cop that he slapped her.
No, she slapped him,
She slapped
Yeah.
him.
and she looked like she was under the influence or something.
No, she was really upset. Okay, just to
She
let
was
the cat
upset.
out,
I wouldn't.
Please.
decided to
Go
watch-
ahead. Is it Ronnie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Ronnie. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I'll let the cat out of the bag. I just, out of curiosity, watched that whole entire chest cam video.
All 107 all the whole hour and 17 minutes.
I was
Ooh,
curious.
Ronnie.
I wanted to see, you know, what's going on. This girl was missing. It was a compelling case, so I just watched it, and she was emotional in the passenger seat. But when Brian got out of the car, he had cuts and scrapes all over his hands and his face. They both admitted that she was hitting him when he was driving. But she said that the reason why she started slapping him around is because she heard the siren behind them. And I was like, well, that's really weird. Were you hitting him before or after the siren? But that doesn't really make, there was just some things that they weren't adding up with what they were trying to explain
Thank
to the
you.
police officers.
Well, I heard her say that he had got some dirt in the car, and she had OCD.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
She has anxiety and OCD. So, but unbeknownst to them,
Ronnie, people are saying she was high. Now, I didn't hear that part. Are they saying that because the way she
was
looked?
high.
I seen the video, and she looked like she was.
To me. She looked like she. I'm not gonna say she
Well,
was
you
high, but she
know-
definitely was into something recreational.
She looked
Her-
disturbed.
Brian,
her
Go ahead, I'm
sister-
sorry,
her
Nina, go ahead.
sister said, his sister said, she's the only one that talked. His sister said that wasn't unusual for them to fight like that, but they always got back together. But when he got those scratches on his face, where that came from is once they were pulled over and the police was talking to her outside. He came outside. They called him out too. Do y'all want to press charges against each other? They both said no. Now I'm
Baby,
paraphrasing.
look.
She charged
look.
at him.
They should have been in
instead of
jail.
The police officer.
They should have been in
Yeah,
jail.
she-
They let
they
that girl
should've
go in the
took her.
truck and put him in a hotel for the night. Who gets that kind of treatment? I want to
know.
talk about Jelani
Because
Day.
Right.
if it had
What
been
happened
us,
to
we
Jelani
would have
Day?
been 72 hours.
Exactly.
Yes.
They found him. They
I wanna
found
talk-
him. They found
But
his body.
hey, people don't even know about Jelani Day, and he was missing for almost a whole month.
right.
Let's do
month.
him tomorrow,
A whole
Gabor. We should start doing these cases. Let's
Yeah.
add him to our
But
lineup.
but Sharrell, his
Mhm.
parents, his mother
Who?
is the DA
Who?
in the county. The Petito's boyfriend, his mama is DA.
Brian?
Why you think
Listen,
that?
if Brian
His
was
mama-
black, he would have already been in jail. They wouldn't
Right.
have
Well,
to
the bounty
do
hunter go-
nothing for him.
That's true.
Y'all
Well, you
let
know the bounty hunter,
Go
the
ahead.
white bounty hunter is getting ready to get him. He going
You think
out there in
that-
them
you
lakes.
talking about
But
Dog
that
the
boy
Bounty
is
Hunter?
not in them lakes. Yes, that boy
Yeah,
is
he
in
out
them
the
lakes. That
country.
boy
He
is
out
in
the
his
country with a
family's
fake ID.
basement.
Right.
He is in his family basement. I'm getting ready to
Oh,
tell
wait a
y'all they
minute,
gonna
Nina,
find him down there.
stop,
They-
Nina,
now-
stop.
Now they
You
said
feel
that,
that the family is harboring Brian?
so he
Yeah.
went
They
missing
lied.
with his
Yeah.
car. They went to the woods and found the car and brought the car back home, but they say they don't know where he at. Lies.
No, okay.
This is this story.
I'm gonna answer that in the chat. Do you feel
they're
that
not even
story...
charging him? They're not even charging him with murder. They charging with him with using the credit card. What's y'all's word? Allegedly, after he had then came home. So they're not charging him with murder. You know why they ain't charging with him murder? Because the mama is the damn DA. They can't charge him. They ain't got no body.
Oh,
no, they found the body. They got the body.
Because I saw that on the news this morning.
They saying that they're not telling us how she was killed, right?
Yeah.
Already had her memorial. Already had her memorial yesterday, Sunday. They're not saying how she was killed.
No.
I'm telling y'all, it's got something. That boy's family got. I mean, they know something.
And I'm gonna tell you, on the news this morning when I was watching it, they had, they was doing her memorial service. Wow. The father didn't even look too choked up. He didn't even look like he had been crying. And I'm saying, okay.
Memorial. I saw everything I needed to see on that chest cam. I saw how chummy Brian was being with about 4 different police officers out there in Utah, asking them about their personal lives, asking them about their families. He was hiding his palms. He admitted that she hit him. She admitted that she hit him because she heard.
Uh-oh. What happened? Is Gabor gone too?
I'm here.
Did she get dropped?
Police officer, and that's the reason why the cops were behind them in the first place. So this little story about how, I saw the cop and I started hitting them, it's not adding up because they were already following them. They just did not realize it. And somebody had already said they saw Brian slapping her around, and allegedly the reason why they got into a squabble was because he was talking to another woman at the rest stop. The other woman turned out to be half of a lesbian couple who are also travel bloggers who wound up dead in the same area.
Wow. I didn't hear that.
Whoa. Just stop for a minute. This is a lot.
The Moonflower Co-op is dead now. And unfortunately, the people around that area said that there was a serial killer wandering around who might be hurting people. So I don't know if it's coincidence. It's really creepy coincidence. But the same woman that he was talking to at that rest stop, she's not with us anymore. And she went to go meet her maker sometime around the same time that Gabbie and Brian were in that same area. Gabbie was emotional. She's got anxiety. She's got OCD. She admitted to all of that. But for some reason, this little tiny 22-year-old girl, any girl, black, white, whatever, they can have a tiny body and she's emotional. The cop leaves her in the middle of a Moab, Utah desert road and takes the boyfriend to the hotel. Why?
And leave her.
First of all, that doesn't make any sense. But maybe if you listen to what the cop said while he was driving Brian to the hotel, it might add up. He was telling Brian about how his wife has anxiety. He was telling him about how his wife started behaving better when she went on meds. So maybe that's the reason why Brian was the one in the nice cushy hotel room and he told Gabbie to go find a KOA $5 shower to go wash up. He left her out there by herself. And I hope he's kicking himself.
So you don't think he had anything to do with the murder?
Who, Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally think he has something to do with it. A lot of people think that he snapped. A lot of people think she was telling a female cop about how he resented her travel blogging. He thought she wasn't going to make anything out of it. What's the big deal? She talked about how he talked down on her goals. And so the one female cop out there was basically trying to tell Gabbie to get out of a quote unquote toxic relationship. While the guys who were out there were talking about their families and talking about their wives with anxiety to Brian. They were chumming it up.
But why the female cop didn't? She says now that she regretted that she didn't take her with her. So she's having a lot of issues out of that too.
So
yeah, but they on this
really stupid for talking about his personal life. If you're conducting an investigation, why are you talking about your personal life with someone you barely even know?
Barely know.
Because they don't look like me.
Handle that thing. One police officer was saying whether they want to press charges or not, we got to cite somebody because they admitted that there was some sort of an assault involved. We see the cuts on Brian's face, so someone hit somebody in this matter. We got to cite somebody. So that's the most.
Dog the bounty hunter came on yesterday, and he said that he thinks he's in the woods somewhere.
He think he in that swamp area, but that's
he in the woods in another country.
He in
the woods in another country.
You don't believe that he's on the run, Gabor? You think the parents are harboring him?
I believe he gone. He in another country.
You know what?
but
Let me
he's
say
not in
this.
the States.
I remember this about the story too, though, because I guess they went there. He came back home,
right?
But before he went missing, his parents went on vacation with him. In between him coming home and him coming up missing. That makes sense?
Yeah, I don't remember that part.
Well, no. I mean, we ain't followed the whole thing. I was just watching a video, the news thing there, right? And they were just saying that he had came home.
Yeah, he did. And
without her.
Yes, I remember that.
His parents and him went on vacation before he became up missing.
Let me ask you this, Pierce. So
where the hell you think they was going?
So you feel that the parents
maybe that's how they found the damn car up there. Maybe they drove it up there, left it, did something with him. Gabor ain't too far off the hook.
You think that the parents, Gabor, Perry, you think that the parents could be helping him, harboring him?
No, I mean, think about it. Absolutely. He just came home. I mean, wouldn't you be a strong coming home without your girlfriend?
That's still my child, no matter what my child
Well, no, I get it, but you coming home without your girlfriend. Okay, now I'm there. Oh, well, let's go on vacation. Well, then, like when Ronnie was saying, they found the vehicle. The parents said they found the vehicle later, right?
Right.
Without him in it.
Right.
Could they possibly have all took off together, dropped the vehicle off, got him some fake ID?
They could have.
Got him fake ID and sent him on his way.
Everybody's agreeing with you, Perry. Everybody's saying, yeah. Lola, what do you have to add to the story?
I've been watching this since it initially happened. This is insane. He did it. I mean, I don't think that's a doubt in anyone's mind. The thing that baffles my mind is how are his parents sleeping at night? I mean, for you, this girl lived in your home for a year, and you're gonna sit here and help your son cover this up because they're aiding and abetting a criminal.
You agree with that too? You agree with the panel?
Oh, 100%. And Gabor, I understand that's their child, but there's a limit. Okay, I'm not going to allow you to harm and kill other people just because you are my blood and of my flesh. That is not okay. That is not okay. And not only that, what a coward. I would too. And you are a coward. How dare you sit there and be a man and kill this woman? How dare you? Because biologically, men have more upper strength than we do. It's not a fair fight. Pick on someone your own size.
Yeah.
Why don't you?
But y'all, who was paying for this around the world trip? Huh? Is she just just starting out as a YouTube blogger? Who's paying for all this? They were 22 and 23 years old. Who paid for this around the world trip?
Probably his parents.
Right.
His parents. She was the DA. So probably his parents.
Yep. There you go, parents. She was the DA.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm concerned about. This is Florida, y'all. Florida is crazy. The craziest people in the world are from Florida. I swear. Remember the KC? No, I'm serious.
You're not from Jacksonville, are you?
He's not lying.
No, I'm from Philly. Listen.
Okay.
A different type of crazy. So remember the Casey Anthony case, right? She got away with that.
Oh God.
The baby was gone for a month. The trunk of her car smelled like decaying flesh. They found the tape and stuff that was around the baby's mouth in the trunk, and she still got off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked. I think the whole world was shocked at that. Yeah.
So Lola, you're saying it's the writings on the wall. We all feel. We don't know for sure that he did it. It's a huge possibility that he might get away with this craziness.
No, he's gonna be a coward. He's gonna hang himself, shoot himself, kill himself some kind of way. He's not gonna come back alive.
I don't think so. I think he's too narcissistic. I think he's too narcissistic. I don't think he's gonna kill himself.
Narcissistic for what, Lola?
To kill himself. So what I mean by that is, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but he's too self-involved. He thinks he's too important to off himself. See, that's why he killed her, because she was the problem, not him. He was right. You see how calm, cool, and collected he was in that video? While she was crying in distress. She wasn't crying. She was crying because she was stressed and frustrated, and he was degrading her. Not because she was weak. Did anyone peep that? I mean, like,
he locked her out of bed.
Yeah. And then not only that, did you guys hear about how 15 Native American women disappeared in that same area?
Yeah, that's what Ronnie was saying.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
just saying,
weird.
all I'm saying is one white girl disappears and everybody loses their mind, but 15 women disappear and that's somehow not that big of a deal to be covered.
We ain't look for no damn body.
Right.
No damn body. Not a one.
Right.
That's an
issue. National headline. National headline.
You don't think that
everywhere.
the disappearing of the other women have anything to do with Gabbie, do you?
No, but I think someone mentioned, I was listening and someone mentioned a serial killer. And I believe that, that seems plausible.
Do you think that a dog is going to find him?
Dog gonna get him.
Yeah,
I think so. Yes,
dog would get. He was.
And they do not mess with. You do not mess with Dog the Bounty Hunter. Do you hear me?
That man would get.
What about that guy from the
FBI?
The guy who's found like 6 out of the top 10 FBI most wanted people. He's on the case too. The guy
he's on it too. Yeah,
he's on it too. And then also, they're saying he might have ran to Mexico. If he did, they're gonna turn him in. I hope you know that. I don't know why people try to run to Mexico. Mexico will turn you in. Because they have a reason to trade you for something for the U.S. No, I'm being honest. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I mean, like, why Mexico has once they have a chip where they can trade it in for something again, they're going to use it.
And the cartel going to turn you in. The cartel going to turn you in just for the reward.
Right.
There's not even a reward for him. Is there a reward for him?
I'm not sure,
it's
but
not a reward. No,
I'm sure they might call and say, "I got him, and can you give me a reward?" There, make up one. I'm just saying.
La 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 la.
He's just a person of interest, y'all. He's not. It's not a reward or anything.
Oh no, I get it. But look, a person of interest. When you start acting strange like this, something going on. It's more than what.
If he just skipped town,
he told them to stop by skipping town. He should have helped them. He should have pretended to help them. That's what takes the target off your back. But you ran. You already done told on yourself.
Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Lola.
Yeah.
I was
because
just
if you have nothing to hide, why are you running?
They didn't.
30 grand.
They did not tell him. Don't leave. They did not tell.
Shit.
No, that is no reward. But the police didn't tell him he had to stay in town. They didn't say don't leave town and all that. They didn't tell him.
But if your fiance disappeared, isn't it your right? Isn't it your part to find her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. If you didn't kill her,
it's not a runaway girl.
Yeah.
But see, he ain't
if you kill her though, you don't care.
Yeah, he ain't playing it smart. Like Lola said, he should have stayed around to try to pretend.
You can cry a river.
Well, when you
till the ocean starts.
I'd be the first one with the search party. I'd be the first one leading the search party.
Well, when you have parents who are running cover for you, I mean, sometimes that will affect the choices
and
that
if you
make.
ever
I've
get
never
a bag,
more trouble in my life than when I was hanging around with cops' kids. Seriously.
But he can't do a search for her because his ass came back without him. How that makes sense?
She was raised in Illinois,
6 hours ago,
right outside of Chicago.
Good boy.
Good boy, it's crazy.
All right, guys. Listen. So now that we're talking about this case,
hey,
I will
woman, if you're listening, I said I miss you, baby. Whoa.
Look, people are saying that he's going to get off. It's a big possibility that he will get off. I mean
Casey Anthony got off, and we all know that situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We know she off her child.
Wait, I believe his lawyer is from the Johnny Cochran firm.
Oh God.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah.
So I don't quote me on that, but I heard them mention that. I don't know how credible the source was that said it, but I
Johnny Cochran dead.
He has a firm.
No, he has a firm.
Yeah, but I'm just saying when you use his name, I think about he's dead. Yeah, so
I mean, he's been dead for 20 years. We all know that.
All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. We'll continue to follow this case then, and I'm agreeing with Gabor. We should start following national cases just to see.
I agree.
Yeah, we got to now. I got to add another series segment, and that'll be
I have
our
a question for y'all. How long
Yeah.
do y'all
Yes.
think until he gets caught? Each of y'all, like,
Well,
let's
I really
let's
think-
have a poll.
I'll say
less than 30 days.
I'll say 3 weeks.
Less than 30
I
days.
give it
Canelo.
a month.
A month.
I give
Because
it longer
apparently
than
he's
that.
been using a card.
I don't think they're gonna find him.
I
You
don't
know
think
why,
they is
Gabor?
either.
Why? You think
I
he's
just-
smart enough to get away with it?
No, I just think that. I mean, if they found him, I don't think they're gonna find him in the United States.
I mean, and then like the reason why I say 3 weeks, because I think if the parents is DAs and stuff like that, and they got somebody with Johnny Cochran's firm or whatever, they don't figure out a way that they could try to smooth over. Like if the memorial already happened and then came back with the with the what's that thing when you die, whatever the results.
Memorial.
Yeah, autopsy, right?
But I know why. So here's why he might get off. Can I tell you my theory real quick? 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
He hasn't spoken to a cop yet, and that's dangerous. Here's why: because his parents are watching and seeing what they all find out and the evidence they find, so he can get his story straight. So when he first sit down with the cops, he can make the most sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's most
right.
dangerous about this case. He has a not only did it get away for 9 days, he has a head start, but he has a head start on what story he's going to tell.
But you missing something, Lola. His mother is the freaking DA. She the biggest cop there is. He don't
But
have
that's
to
what we're
talk to
saying.
anybody. He don't have to talk to not nobody.
But that's what I mean. She's gonna have
Yeah.
firsthand knowledge on the evidence. That's exactly what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing.
But y'all, I'm gonna say this, Sharrell. I'll be quiet. Do y'all remember years ago when on Valentine's Day when the girl from North Carolina, Shelby, little town of Shelby, called her name was Asia Degree? Do y'all remember when she was kidnapped? Y'all don't remember? They ain't never found her, and she just 20 miles up from me. That girl would have been almost 30 years now. They never found her because they never cared nothing about her. Because you know why? She looked like me.
They're going to find him. They're going to find him. They will.
Your body's
calling. He might as well turn himself in. It'll be better for him.
That boy gonna kill himself.
Let's start wrapping up. Lola, what are your last words?
I just feel as if I believe they're gonna find him. And like I tell you, the only dangerous part about this case is that he's gonna be able to give a straight story because his mom's a DA and she's gonna have firsthand knowledge on the evidence and stuff. So when he sits down with the cops and gets interrogated, he's gonna have a story straight. That's what's worrying me.
One thing that
I can't with Gabor. I can't
with Gabor.
Go ahead, girl. Sing it. If you're gonna sing it, sing it loud, girl. Go ahead.
So,
Ronnie, what are your last words?
Okay, so while his mother I feel like while his mother might have DA leverage, and that basically helped him in his first 3 days of disappearing himself. Unfortunately, they were caught in a lie. So she can be a DA as much as she wants. You got caught in a lie, and you helped your son escape a potential murder charge. They're not their friends anymore. They're not friends with his parents anymore. They're pissed off at his parents because they're wasting a lot of money. Because because everybody believes that the parents know where he is, and the fact that they're not fessing up is wasting a lot of taxpayers' money right now. So they are really not in good graces with their own law enforcement right now, regardless of the fact that she's a DA. She can use her DA leverage to get a good lawyer, to even get fake IDs, to get him to Venezuela if they need to. But when it comes down to interrogating him, he can have as many straight stories as he wants. But the fact of the matter is that whenever they find him, it was longer than the day after Gabbie went missing. And the fact that so much time, effort, resources, and money, they're not going to like him, regardless of whether he looks like them or not.
That's true. And apparently,
okay, so my last, I'm gonna say this. So why they ain't arrested all them motherfuckers?
Yeah,
no. Why?
Because you can't arrest people just on suspicion. You can't arrest people just on suspicion. You have to have money. This America.
Thank you, Lola.
You can arrest people on suspicion. Too many.
No, you can't, girl. In what country? Not in these 50 states. You cannot.
I suspect you killed this person, and then bring your ass in for 4 hours.
Oh, girl, we haven't done that since the Roman times. You cannot arrest someone based on suspicion. No, not in these 50 states, or in the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, or America Samoa. You cannot.
I'm just a joke to honey. I just want to know why ain't none of them all been sit down there and interrogated. That's all I want.
His mother owns a juice machine business, not a DA.
Oh, see, y'all need
DA.
to get
It's
that together.
already been established that she's a DA. So whoever's putting that in the information chat, she's wrong. Because I watch the news every morning. If she is the DA, she was. She might not be the DA now. She on a retainer because she's still getting paid, just like the police officer. She on the front desk, behind the damn desk or something. She is the DA.
We'll
Sweetheart.
find. We're going to be covering this
Oh yeah, I'm
story.
gonna be finding this one.
Check the
We'll get the
Carfax. Check the
details, yeah.
Carfax. See if that's true.
I am glad
right.
that this case is bringing up a lot of other cases that have gone ignored. If anything else comes from this case, it has shown a light. All this media coverage back to back. They got Australia is covering this case right now. I am glad that all of this seemingly just overabundance of one case is showing a contrast to how everybody else is getting treated. And if it took a tragic case like this to expose what's been happening for decades, so be it. You know, sometimes the right things happen for the wrong reasons. And if Gabbie's case is bringing up all of these other cases that have gone ignored, these 15 missing Native American girls, after they have been hollering, protesting, and marching for so many years to try to get it, and now suddenly it took a completely different case for them to be like, hello, we're over here. And now, because it seems as though there is a transition happening in this country where these kinds of conversations are starting to matter to people more than just in that community, then I think that this is creating a paradigm shift, which was all too necessary. And my heart goes out to Gabbie. You know, God rest her soul. My condolences go to her family. But this case really did pull back the smokescreen of America trying to gaslight every other community that's been saying y'all been doing this, and every time they're like, no, she was a runaway. He got mixed up with gangs. No, they weren't, and they won't listen to anybody. They just want to fit whatever narrative, just so that they don't have to worry about it.
They want to save the resources for the white people that go missing. That's what.
Yeah, I'm reading that the parents on the juice thing that she's not no DA.
Okay. This is what I'm going to do. So, because I was just asked to do this story at the last minute, weren't we, Perry? I'm going to check into all of that. I really got to end this here. But tomorrow, when I keep covering it and things like that, I will find out and give us more details, and we can have another spirited conversation. Because I just have a feeling in my heart they're going to find him. I think Dog is
but Sharrell,
you want to find what happened to Jelani Day?
We'll find that out too.
We're gonna find that out too.
True.
All right, we got to start wrapping it up. What are your last words, Lola? What are you gonna say?
No, what I was gonna say is why haven't Gabbie's parents run over to their house and beat their ass? I'm sorry, maybe it's the colored person in me. Maybe it's the colored person in me. But let my child go missing, and you might have something to do with it, or you gonna hear about me. You gonna find out about me.
Lola, I told y'all on the news this morning, the father
with my 38 and my 9mm girl.
He don't even like he been crying. It doesn't even like he lost a daughter. He was up at the memorial service.
I'm with you, Lola.
Maybe
everybody show their emotions differently, though.
Yeah, everybody.
That's true.
That is so true.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Lola, for calling. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lola.
Take care.
Bye, Lola Lane.
Bye.
Thank you so much for a spirited conversation, Ronnie. I appreciate your call.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
What y'all gonna say about me?
Wife.
We're gonna say we love you.
Thank you, Gabor's wife. We appreciate you calling in.
Bye, Nina.
Gabor's wife.
Gabor's wife.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. I didn't expect the conversation to get spirited, and so we'll add another segment to my channel, and we will cover true crime in high-profile cases such as.
You know, we ought to watch shows like For My Man.
What's that?
Well, girls
we'll talk about it behind. We'll talk about that because we got we got a lot to do, y'all.
I don't need you giving nobody no ideas, Gabor.
I'm so sorry, mods, that I went over. I tried to keep it to an hour, but I decided at the last minute to combine both stories because at the last minute we were asked by request to do the Gabbie Petito. I hope I say it right. Petito. Brian Laundrie. So we did. All right, you guys. On 3, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, adios.